Hello and welcome back, my friends. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a very cool technique, something that you can apply in your garden. Very easy to do, inexpensive, highly effective method. This is a secret gardening tip that I've been utilizing in my garden for quite some time. Not exactly the way I'm sharing with you today, but the whole concept of using a particular fertilizer as a way to grow abundant plants. And as you can see, I'm out here in my food forest. I've had a little bit of success growing, and I want to share with you everything that I've learned over the years and things that I know can work for you. So check this out. So I'm here next to my hugelkultur raised bed garden, and as you can see, we've got an open patch of ground here just begging for a plant to get plugged in. It's starting to get dry because it needs something growing here. So I decided I'm going to be putting in one of my favorite plants to grow, longevity spinach, also known as Gynera procumbens. This plant is easily propagated from cuttings. That's how I propagated this plant. It's just a wonderful heat-loving green, very delicious, mild in flavor, great for smoothies, sautés, that sort of thing. So I'm going to break ground here and get that plant plugged in and share with you the secret. Wow, this is some really good soil here. I just want to show this to you. This is hugelkultur breakdown over the years. My soil did not look like this when I first started working this land. It's majority clay. The drainage wasn't very good. There was a lack of good organic material in the soil. And now this stuff is just primo. That's breakdown of wood chips and all the different organic material that made up this hugelkultur bed. Here's a piece of that hugel wood that came out, and you can see how it compresses kind of like a sponge. Just look at that, how it breaks down over time. Excellent for the soil. So we've got our hole ready for planting. Now here's the tip I'm going to share with you today. We're going to be putting in a can of sardines in the bottom of this hole. Now it doesn't matter the brand. What I'm encouraging you to do is find the cheapest can of sardines you can. Oftentimes you can find these at the dollar store or your local grocery store. Just look for sardines that are packed in water. You don't want sardines in oil for what we're doing today. And because it's packed in water, we can just drop that whole thing in the hole like so. Now before we put our plant in, I know some folks might be concerned that having buried fish in your garden is going to bring in wildlife like raccoons or other animals that may come in and try to dig this up, maybe even a cat. So I've got an extra tip for you that I'm going to share that'll help you to keep any smells down, and that is to then top your fish with some spent coffee grounds. Coffee grounds do a great job eliminating all odors. It absorbs odor. So just a little bit of coffee grounds, also good for your garden, good for plants. And now we're ready to plug our plant in. And look at that, we've got a nice root development on this plant. We're just going to tease those roots out a little bit and plop it in its new home. Welcome home, longevity spinach. We're happy to have you. We hope you enjoy your stay here in the Plant Abundance Food Forest. Oh, this plant is going to thrive. So burying a fish underneath a plant is not a new idea or concept. This has been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Native Americans would employ this technique, burying a whole fish or even scraps of a fish underneath each planting as a way to bring in nutrients, bring in nutrition, replenish the soil, feed the plant. The way this works is as the roots of this plant start to grow out and develop, it's going to reach into the area where we just buried that fish, and at the same time the fish is breaking down. This is providing a complete NPK value for this plant, so nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. And generally you can expect to get a 411 value or a 511 value. Now you've seen me speak on using fish emulsion as a way to fertilize my garden. That's one of my best techniques, especially earlier in the growing season as things are just starting to take off. This is the same concept. It's just more of a slower feed, kind of like a granular fertilizer would be. as you're not getting all that soluble nutrients all at once, but as it's breaking down, it becomes available to the plant. So it's very beneficial. And the great thing about using sardines is that it's actually quite sustainable. And I'll tell you why. You see, over the years, we've overfished our oceans. And as a result, the natural process of the larger fish consuming the sardines has become disrupted. And because of that, there's been an influx and abundance of sardines overtaking the oceans. And because sardines are vegetarian fish and they eat plant matter, they're actually consuming too much of the plant matter in the oceans, creating an imbalance. So harvesting the sardines and using it as a food source, number one, and as a garden fertilizer are sustainable in today's world. So oftentimes what happens is sardines are farmed or caught and fed to other fish to create other meats for human consumption. And the problem with that is generally it's going to take about 20 pounds of sardines to create 1 pound of meat from another fish. So the conversion rate is really bad. Now, if we take those sardines rather and we consume them directly, it's better for us as well. And that's because sardines are a small fish, and because of that, they don't accumulate the same amount of toxins that larger fish do that eat higher up on the food chain. So less mercury, less PCBs. It's a healthier fish, high in omega-3s, one of the cheapest costs or lowest cost proteins that you can get on the market today. So I'm a fan of stockpiling sardines, cans of sardines, as a backup, even in emergency food. And then if those cans start to get a little older and expire, you can use that in your garden. But if you just want to get some sardines just to use this technique and help to feed your soil and your plants, I'd recommend going and checking out like a dollar store or one of your discount markets and see what you can find. Generally, you can get these cans for $1. And if you're able to do that, you can get yourself maybe 20 cans and put a can under each one of your tomato plants, cucumber plants, squash plants, and you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. Coffee grounds are also another wonderful source to add into your garden. They're high in nitrogen. They contain other minerals as well, potassium, phosphorus. So this goes really well with the sardine planting or just using this on its own. Coffee grounds also make a wonderful addition to your garden, help to build quality soil. They contain a decent amount of nitrogen and also some potassium and phosphorus as well. Not only that, it helps to feed the worms. Worms love to eat coffee grounds, so use a little bit of this in your garden, and if you combine it with the sardines, all the better. You're getting added nutrition and also helping to keep any odors down that may be present. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my beautiful wife Alice for doing the filming today. She's been doing more of the filming on the channel, and I think she's doing a wonderful job. If you agree, smash that thumbs up for us and shoot us a comment below. Helps the channel to grow. So Alice saw that we have a few ripe loquats over there. She wanted to go pick one and share that with you today as well. Beautiful golden loquats. Remember to save those seeds. How is it?
Good.
So that's how we do it out here, guys. We've been harvesting some delicious apricots every day as well.
Han, look at this. The one I really like it is in the branches. So wonderful.
Oh, look at this one. It looks like the birds enjoyed one of those today.
That one, because I cannot reach. That one eating by the bird too.
This one's perfect. I think you like yours a little bit more crunchy.
Yeah, I like this.
This one's good too.
And there's a lot of fruit over there eaten by the birds. I cannot reach.
Honey, cheers.
Cheers. Mm.
Life is good in the garden, my friends. Hope you're able to get outside and get some things growing today. Until next time, this is Dan.
And Alice.
from plantabundance.com. Take care. We'll be talking to you again soon.